Hi, my name is Kari, and I grew up going to church and believing in God is what you did. And I wouldn't say that I had the best relationship with God because I didn't feel Him really, and I didn't understand Him, and I think I was looking for that I would feel Him. That's how I would know, and I didn't have a aha, come to Jesus moment like I saw others have, and that's what I wanted. But when He did speak to me, I didn't listen. I heard Him, but I said thanks, but no thanks, and I got this. And I was getting ready to marry my first husband, and God specifically told me not to do that. But my response to Him was, but He loves me. So looking back, I just can't believe that I would say that. Especially now that I know how much He loves me and His love for me, that I would question. But being loved was a theme for me. I did get married, and with all the ups and downs in life, my relationship really ebbed and flowed with God. Like when things went bad, that's when I would cling to Him and read the Bible and look things up, and I just depended on Him when I needed Him. I moved to Arizona, and that's when I really started to feel like I had a relationship with Him. I got involved in our church there. I kind of didn't have an option because I didn't know anybody in Arizona, so I just kind of threw myself at whatever was there, and I, even was a table leader at the Bible study, women's Bible study, and I went on a mission trip with the youth. I mean, why? Anyway, that was a miracle in and of itself. But moving away from my parents, even though I was an adult, really kind of pushed me into realizing that God was the only thing that I could rely on, and it was great. And that fact that Jesus was the only thing that I could rely on is what really continued to bring me closer to Him. And it seems so selfish that things are bad, that's when we need God. Things go great, and we're kind of like, get into our own groove, get distant. We don't rely on Him, and until something else comes up, which of course it always does. So looking for love wasn't really, looking to be loved rather, really wasn't working out so much for me. Because in my early 40s, I was on my second marriage, my second hurtful, painful divorce, and understanding God's love for me and my search for that was about to come. And it was going to be painful, and it was going to hurt. And it was very complexing, and it's still even hard really to wrap my brain around it sometimes. But on December 15th, 2016, my daughter Peyton was shot and killed by her boyfriend. And that totally changed everything, obviously. And it especially changed the extent of God's love for me. And I felt a complete transformation. I mean, obviously, I lost my child, but I felt a transformation of my relationship with Jesus. And when Peyton died, and I was reborn in a way, as strange as that sounds. My whole world has been thrown upside down, and it was for my good, and it was for my better and for God's glory. And I remember crying and screaming and wailing. Why? it was so hard, and why would you do this to me, Lord? I mean, I can't handle things anyway. It's like I've struggled with major depression since I was a teenager, and so, I take 3 different medications for my depression, and life without this was such a struggle. And, her death would just really justify ending my life. I mean, totally, everyone would understand. It was just too much. It was just like, I know God tells you he only can give you as much as you can handle, but I don't think so. I mean, I was just, ugh. So the thing that I clung to, and the one truth that I knew came back around to Jesus loves me. And I believe that 100%. And if I believe that, then I knew that he already knew the pain. He already knew how hard it was going to be for me. And in all his wisdom, he still allowed her death to occur. And in that moment, I learned Jesus' extent of his love for me. I mean, he knew my sorrow. He knew my pain. He knew the devastation, yet he allowed her to die, and he allowed my pain. And that his love for me was more than all of that. And he allowed it because he loves me. And it's still, I mean, I know people don't understand, and I say it out loud, and it still kind of doesn't make sense, but he loves me so much that he allowed all those things to happen because he knew in the end it was going to be what was best for me. It was what was best for my daughter. And he certainly must love me more than I can even, wrap my brain around. He knew that in her death, for me, I would understand his love for me, and it would become a new life for me. It just goes beyond anything, but this journey has been so painful yet really healing. Everything is so clear to me now. Jesus is my everything. He doesn't get my ebb and flow. He doesn't get my good and my bad, and he gets me 100%. And there isn't a question in my mind. There isn't a fear. There's no circumstance that I can go through that I don't have complete faith and complete trust that he is going to do what is best for me, even if it hurts. He knows better than I know. And it's a great place to be. I mean, it's as much as it's hard, it's peaceful because I don't have to worry. I'm so safe and held there. And it's really important for me now to live and love, like Jesus does. And of course, I mean, I'm not perfect. Being a Christian isn't about being perfect. I make lots of mistakes too, but I try hard. It's going to be 4 years coming up, and I can feel it in my bones. I feel my body hurts, from missing her. And I have those days that I question still. But, I have to circle back and cling to the thing that I knew, the thing that held me together in the beginning, and it's just his love for me.